We're live, starting now.
Awesome! Welcome to MindFit. Sean likes to pull at the computer as well,
yeah, of course,
so anybody who's on,
Speaking.
then
Gotta be on.
perfect. We're gonna have some. Yeah, we're broadcasting live, and you can play this video back for anyone you love and care about. That it makes sense for you know. So I'm gonna kind of go over the context of what MindFit is, how we created it, how we started it, and really our mission and our purpose here. We're gonna have some people join us on his way. I think Nate and some people might creep over when they're done with their wellness profiles. Brooke might come over here. We have people that join us live every single week, so welcome everybody. Really excited for everybody to feel a part of a larger conversation. So, first time is it to MindFit? Raise your hand. Awesome. Yeah. Can you just share your name and one thing that you're grateful for?
Miguel, and being here with all you guys with this team.
Awesome.
I love you guys.
Okay.
Randy, and I'm grateful I'm about to be filming a movie pretty soon. And actually be doing the movie, I'm kind of grateful for that.
Nice. Yes, absolutely.
Tim, I'm grateful for new friends.
Yeah. About that too.
That too. So this is the Fit Lab. Inside these walls, it's our intention to change the world through nutrition, fitness, and empowerment. Okay, starting with our community here in Silver City. There are people doing it all over the United States. Miguel is actually a perfect example of how we are spreading out everywhere. Hey, Mel. Miguel has spread this movement to Detroit. So he has, a center that he's opening and all of this good stuff. So really this is a movement of well-being. It's a love movement, and really starts with us getting the best shape of ourselves, the best shape of our lives through nutrition and fitness and mindset, and then it actually spreads organically. All right, so inside of this space, we do workouts, which you guys experienced today. Did you go to? Okay, it was good.
I love this.
Yeah, an RX beast. And then we do nutrition. So did you like the shake?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we also do mindset. So this is the piece where we're actually going to be talking for an hour, and it's going to be a collaborative conversation on this week's topic is being bold. So what that means to you, how we can really, the whole purpose of MindFit is to have a topic for us to share from a place of power. So a lot of us are going to have personal experiences and things that have happened. To add to the goal is not to talk about the details, but rather the lesson, so we can grow and gain a higher vibration and an excitement, so we can go out into the world and really share this conversation and pay it forward. Cool? All right. So everyone gets to talk. I'm not going to talk this entire time. Can you guys come up a little bit more? Yeah, you can close the door. And if anybody on the line has questions, Elise, they can text us or write us questions. Right? You guys can type questions. If you guys have questions, that you can comment on this video after, and we can just create a collaborative conversation after the event. That's perfect. So being bold. I love this topic. Being bold. So what does being bold mean to you? That's what I want you guys to think about. For me, being bold means owning my power and owning my truth, which is super exciting, because from a place of owning exactly who I am, exactly why I'm here, being clear on my mission, my purpose, and being grounded inside of that, life manifest. It's almost like life is so much easier power because you're clear on who you are, and people just want to follow. People want to follow certainty. People want to follow clarity. People want to follow somebody that's following something bigger than themselves, right? And people than themselves. So being bold for me is activating my truth, which allows other people to activate their truth. So for you, maybe one of the reasons why you might have booked this role is because you're in your power right now. You're in your personal power. And they're like, somebody recognized that. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what being bold means for me. I'd love to hear what it means for you, if you've had a personal experience around this, or anything that you want to share about this.
I can share.
Yeah.
Just similar to yours. I think so many times, like growing
enough. I've wanted to like fit in or say the right thing or just make sure that it sounds right to people, and just like through transformation and understanding who I am and understanding exactly what I want from life and what I have to offer as well. I think on a day-to-day basis, my being bold is, like you said, just not swaying from what I want to do and what I think is right for me and also what I think is right for that person. I think that comes from a space of not lying. I used to just like make it okay, or if I saw someone do something that really wasn't okay, I would just kind of justify why it was okay and like kind of sweep it under the rug. But from this and taking on being bold, it's like, no more, you know. And just an example of that is like from a workout, even something as simple as a workout. If I see someone walking in a lunch station, it's like before I would have been like, oh, maybe they're just having a bad day, I'm not. But I stand for so much more than that, and I know that they can be great. So my being bold would be to say something to that person instead of just walking by, you know. Or if I always say, well, I pray for people all the time when I'm walking by, and then I don't pray for the homeless person, like that's me not being bold, you know, and like actually reaching out to that person in a way that I can. So it's just always acting on what I think in that very moment, and that's just my being bold. Does anybody else want to share? Yes.
I think my being bold right now is not being such a people pleaser. My whole life.
Can you speak up a little bit so they can hear you online?
Yeah. Being bold right now. Oh, hi Ellie. So I've always grown up, oldest child, oldest cousin, kind of doing whatever he wants me to do or what's me. So pleasing everybody around me. So right now, joining Herbalife is like my first step right now, and not people pleasing, just because everybody's like, oh, it's just a fad right now, it's really which I thought so as well.
Can I redirect what you just said for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
Not to interrupt you, but I'm really gonna work on not using the word not, like out of the. So instead of not people pleasing, what are you working on doing?
I am working on following what I want to do.
Awesome.
Instead. So for me right now, what being bold is. So doing what I want to do, which at this point in my life, I want to go to these workouts. I want to continue my nutrition plan. I want to continue getting results. So that's what I'm going to do.
What does being on your nutrition plan, doing these workouts, being in your truth, what is that acting? Why do you want to do that? What is it giving you? Like, what are you following?
Well, I was kind of in a static place. Just graduated college. I had no idea what I wanted to do. It's just a lot of options that the world gives you. So I really had no purpose right now. I was just kind of like staying still, going to work, working 12-hour shifts, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, doing whatever I can to keep up the surface. So I just like how I feel at this point in my life right now. I want to continue that.
Awesome. It's a good high. Welcome. We are talking today about being bold. Okay, awesome. Can you share your name with the group?
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Jarrett here, that's going to be joining us as well. So I love that. I love, Brooke, that you are being bold in your beliefs and you're being loud about it, whether that means praying for every single person you walk by, not judging anyone, but your truth is that you are love and you are going to pray and give love to everyone you walk by. So it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to pray for this person and not this person. You know, it's I'm going to pray for every single person that I walk by. And with that, it's because I realized that my capacity can expand. Like before, I would be like, oh, I'm just tired. I can't help everyone. Like honestly, I would say I did so much. Like yesterday, I had a crazy busy day. I was like, I'm not going to go to the club and do time and scream. But it's like your capacity expands. Like when you're aware that you can do so much more. So it's like me being bold allows myself to do that because I know whatever you believe in, like God has my back, and I'll just have more energy through that faith and belief. So it's crazy that activation of your truth gives you an expansive level of energy. You almost don't have to sleep. It's almost like you're taken care of on the highest level that you can just go and go. It's like the Energizer Bunny of love. Like real, it's like overflowing. It's like when you're in your truth and you're vibrating and you're like, this is me, I am love, you are love. Like I'm overflowing, I'm filling up. Breathing in love, exhaling out love. Breathing in love, exhaling out love. Like it's almost it's endless. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And like Sarah was sharing with me earlier, she's like, I'm feeling like a little bit sick right now. And I'm like, you're just releasing layers. Get it out. Like get it out because it's expansive. You get, and it's getting things like so you can be flowing like cleanly and clearly. And from that place, it's like you can motivate every single person in the workout to be their best self. You cannot activate your personal power. You can pray for every single person on the planet. And it's almost not even self-generated. It's from a higher place. Right. The truth. Mm-hmm. You're grounded in your truth. When you're grounded in your truth, it's limitless. Mm-hmm. It's bountiful.
I feel like I second that.
I know your team name, you call yourself the Love Warriors, right?
Yeah. And you just talking about what's love. I was like, oh, yes. Keep it going. Yeah, love is endless. It's infinite. So we can always, as long as we're grounded and we're clear on the things that we want. That's why with this whole being bold thing, I think it's having a clear vision, a clear understanding, being grounded in the here and the now, and just being as powerful as you can be. Because it's exactly what you're just saying. Never-ending cycle. Love comes in, love goes out. And you guys can connect with so many people on so many different levels that it makes no sense. Everyone's like looking to me to say something. I don't know how
it does make sense.
But, oh yeah, it makes all the sense in the world as long as you understand it. And you clearly understand it. I'm right there with you. So we understand each other. The never-ending cycle.
I see you. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here.
What's going on, bro? I'm very happy to be here. I haven't seen you in a long time either, man. I was gonna compliment you because you smell good, man.
It's true though, like that's a perfect example. How often do you walk into a room, you see someone maybe you know or don't know, and you want to say something to them, but you want to say, hey man, you smell really good, like that's awesome. But like there's that fear inside, or what is that person going to think, or, you know, it's like that conversation of what are others thinking about me. And that so many times shuts the door, literally shuts the door in your face. And you don't have the opportunity to experience the joy, the laughter, the love when you stop yourself in the tracks because of somebody else. Yeah. Because of what might possibly be a thought from somebody else, from whatever their experience was 15 years ago in their life. Like, who cares? You get to be an access point for people to experience that joy. Like, we all just laughed. We had a laughing moment. We had a joyful moment. Val got to take in or not, right? That's up to Val whether he takes that in. But we all got to experience that amazing moment. And it's such a perfect example of following your heart in that moment.
I love it. And what's so cool is when you're bold, simply through being like, yo, Valentine, you look great, dude. You smell great, too. Warrior, and I'm happy to be here. You gave, whether you know it or not, everybody access to letting go of something. Like it was a breath. So by us standing in our personal power, we simply activate something in people subconsciously. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be more. Don't do more, be more. How many of you guys have ever heard that before? Right? And when you think about being more, like that's exciting because it's almost simple. Life becomes simple. It's almost like you get to lean back and like bask in your awesomeness. Oh, really?
Right?
So often we think we have to do so much and like, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do this, so this happens. So, and it's like, no, you actually get to be. You actually get to be your life. You get to be your authentic self. And from that point of power, everything opens up for you. I can teach you this marketing plan like the back of my hand. Why? Because I'm in my truth. It's like I can teach you how to get in the best shape of your life. But it's not, it's me being in my truth that gives you access to that. It's like if I was unclear on who I am, it's hard for me to teach it from a point of power. It's like, yo, dude, I think these products work, you know, like it worked for my mom, and like I think this marketing plan's pretty cool. It's like, no. Let me share with you the most epic thing on the planet. You know, because it's my truth.
Mm-hmm.
And from that space, that's how I give you access to something in your power, because I'm so clear. And trust me, it's taken me 4.5 years on this journey called life or life, been inside of this bubble to get this clear. So it's not like I woke, like, we're all the way to not doing a Herbalife like this. I was a dominating X Division I athlete, super in my masculine power. That was a mask. Super masked out, super like, I want to compete with everyone, super like everyone to win, to get love. Real talk. And through this company, I've been able to shed layers and layers and layers and literally lean back, be more, and receive, and give you access to the same thing.
No, that was amazing, man.
A great example of that, it's a personal story, so I'm not saying this to like toot my own horn. I'm really saying this to like share what the example was. On Tuesday night, my husband and I, we've been married for 6 years now. Thank you. That actually has a purpose. But we were at this networking event at the Roosevelt Hotel, and we were like, let's just like play this game. Let's just like be silly and be fun and like, you know, just be. Let's just be. And so we're like 1, 2, 3, go. And like we were talking to people in this networking room, and then we had a leadership call here, and so we went into the lobby, we jumped on the call, we were like vibrating, and the waitress like comes up after, and she, like we started talking to her, of course, we're like, what do you do? How long have you been here? What else do you do outside of this? And she asked us, she goes, is this your guys' first date? And we were like, no, we've actually been dating for 10 years and married for 6. And she was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how you guys are interacting. She said, I've seen so many people that come in and out of this place who have, you know, no relationship, don't speak to each other, they're on their phones, or they're not interacting. And like, she was like laughing, and we create, by us being in that space, we created a space for her to be. She was laughing. She's like, I haven't had like a moment like this in so long. And it's just a moment of being. And it doesn't matter whether it's your first date or your millionth date. Like, the past doesn't matter. It's about being in the present moment. We were being bold and outrageous and laughing out loud and like high-fiving each other and like just being. And it was awesome. And what was created from that was really magical. And the space that it created for other people who we interacted with, they were able to experience something possibly unacceptable. It was fun.
I saw the best visual of I had a visual of the ripple effect of the restaurant going, that's possible.
And that, I mean, that's honestly not the first time that somebody has asked us that. So it's like, but it didn't used to be like that. Now that we're both in the understanding of being in the moment, being present, being bold, not caring about what other people think, just going with our gut, like, things are shifting so much, it's amazing.
Can you imagine if everyone, like even just this group was like that every single day, how many people said you would change, even outside of the products and Herbalife?
Yeah.
Like I go into work, swim coaching, like it's not the worst job in the world, like I work with kids. But the coaches there act like it's the worst job. And I go in every single day with a smile on my face and like, how did you do that? You know, they really just don't know how to be happy because before this, they're probably in a traffic jam or they had a different job where it has a negative environment. And like you guys being here today, like you get to do that for everyone, all the time. Even if you have a bad day, like you just get to take a moment and like understand like this life is actually amazing and you're breathing and living no matter what your circumstance is. And every single time I go to work, like I know that I can change them by not even saying anything. It's just from my energy. you know, and that's how you're sitting, whatever your job is, if it's waiting tables, if it's at the bar, you know, whatever it is, like, you have an impact on the person in front of you. And if we started, then everyone else can start it, you know, and the world will just start to change. It's the ripple effect of the restaurant.
And it does take courage, and it does take people.
I think when you, like this group alone, like before I came into this space, we just came from being 24, had an interaction or a conflict where we collided with one of the fitness managers there. And I was explaining to Tiffany that, you know, the story behind it is that he got, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, he doesn't like it. He can't stand it. So I don't know, he just need you. I have no, I took it off because I was lifting. But I had on my button and it says, I love Herbalife. It's just like, it's just so, like, just makes him so angry. Like, he comes up to me and he says, you know what I mean, it was a training because we were working out together and, you know, I clearly didn't achieve that. So I'm like helping her mom, so they're training. So it just comes at me all of aggression. And for me to, it threw me off, like for the rest of my morning until I'm sitting right here right now. And then listening to you guys, like, fearless and be bold is now helping me to get back to my journey, my normal me. And I think that's like reverberating through Brooke and connecting it through Val and going through the love circle, everything. And honestly, it's like I started a new job, so I need this, and I really truly only came because of, you know, Tip, and I'm part of the team. So me being here is, yeah, so it's supposed to be here. So I'm thanking you guys for already having the energy wheel going, just so I can let go of what just happened to me, so I can enjoy the rest of my day. Because I don't know how long it felt like the situation was expedited.
Yeah.
Like I get to let that go sooner than doing it by myself.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
Like, if you do that and whatever relation between you guys was, it's not about you or the team. Like you, like whatever he was experiencing is just him.
Right.
So you could have just had that interaction and then just forgot about it if you chose to. Like, you understand everything that happens has nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
And every moment. And what Brooke said is so powerful because as you own your truth, Jared, and you're one of the happiest free people I've ever met. So as you own your power inside of that, rather than using it as a mask and like, this is Jared, but like a lot of people don't understand it or whatever you're like, whatever it has you get out of it. Like, if it's your truth, nothing should shake you, right? Because in that moment, he comes up to you, he's like, hey, dude, like, that pin fires me up. I hate it. And you're like, you know what? You're awesome.
Great, have a good day.
Great. Like, you're awesome. Like, seriously, like, you're powerful. And I want you to know you're powerful. If you'd like me to take this button off, no problem. I hope you have an amazing day.
Overwhelm people with appreciation.
Because he was sticking to what he felt. He didn't change it.
That's the truth, right? That guy is love. He just forgot about it. And someone pissed him off. And he, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever happened for that guy, like, you can actually shift his future. Because that's your truth. That's your truth. When we stand in our power, not only is there no anger, it's like a love shield. Not only is there no anger around us, but there's a ripple effect of love in every person we touch, see, come across. That's real. And that's people in your truth. Because the true Jared never takes off his button, gives a smile, gives a hug back. That's the true Jared I know. The bold Jared. It's okay, though, because we're just practicing. We're practicing. We're practicing remembering who we are. You know, a lot of people for a long time have shaken us up to have us forget. So we go backwards. We go backwards. We go backwards until we say, okay, enough forgetting. This is who I am. Always, forevermore. This is who I am. Thank you.
Have you ever studied the Course in Miracles? Because that's what it is. And Marianne Williamson has a book called Return to Love. And she basically says, like, we put on layers, we put on masks, and our whole journey through life is to take off those layers and discover who we really are, which is love.
curriculum, and it's one of our. Yeah. We own the same wavelength, girls.
She actually does something in LA.
It's amazing.
Hold on, I might have to go see her.
It's great.
She's good at Gabrielle Bernstein, great stuff from her, based off of this, which is kind of what I'm basing my writing off of.
So Elise, the girl that I told you get to meet, is sitting right here. And so Elise is actually going to Gabrielle Bernstein's workshop. And Marianne Williamson, we've met, and we're like very much, we as a collective group of women are reading A Woman's Worth
Okay.
by Marianne Williamson, which is really, really beautiful as well. And all men get to read that, by the way.
Well, they didn't order me.
You can order it.
Are you guys going to New York?
Yeah. But her yoga class tomorrow is based off of love, like a connection to self, and she's building a whole
nice.
So we're so in alignment, girl. Plopped in the right place, the right time.
Yeah.
Plopped in. Oh man. So who else wants to share about being bold and self-activation of personal power? You know what, Val? I would love, if you're open to it, you sharing about the power of finding your truth, and inside of that, what unlocks in terms of bold communication. Because I think that a lot of us, what happens is we're just starting to discover who we are, but we're almost unsure, so we don't know how to communicate it. It's almost like the communication piece, like how you would respond to that trainer. It's almost like a practice. It's like muffled, and then it's like, is this how I would do it? Because we've pleased people for so long. You know, we've wavered for so long. So it's like, now, how do I boldly stand in my truth and have a powerful conversation from my point of power? Well, it takes practice, right? And so Val just finished a workshop, and man, I think it's powerful to share what you got.
Yeah, sure. I finished. Tonight is actually the completion night. I did a workshop called Landmark Course in Communication, and it was just amazing. You know, I really, when I walked in, I much about what I was going to get out of it, other than I know I have certain blocks in communication. And now coming out of that course, just really seeing everybody, most people have blocks in communication, right? And so one thing I found, I'm not going to say what's really in the course, but I'm going to share with you guys what I got out of it. And what I got out of it was that I tend to avoid certain patterns in communication that every single person does. Some people like defend, or some people like talk over people, some people interrupt people, or, you know, there's different types of, like, different things. But in mine, I withhold and avoid, is what I learned. The fear behind that, and there's a fear behind all of it, whatever block of communication you have. And for me, there's a fear of, number one, disappointing, and then number two is a fear of not being good enough. So that's what I learned by myself. But the thing about that is, it's a recurring fear that's almost like something I discovered that it's like, as a kid, you decided that that is the truth for you, and now your whole life is like created around that fear. So I've lived my life avoiding situations or avoiding people, and literally in that weekend, I'm like, oh my God, I see here, where I do the same thing. Like, it's the same kind of pattern. So it was really interesting to learn that. Like, I've been with relationships in general, like here and my friends, I can probably say that I don't really have any qualms with people, right, in general. I really don't. But there's one person in my life where it's not necessarily I have a qualm with them, but I just can't seem to find out why I keep avoiding him. That's my father. And what I learned is that there's a fear of me disappointing them, so there's been things that I've done and decisions that I've made that I've not shared with them. In fear of, if I share with them, it'll disappoint them, and like I'm gonna die and all hell will break loose, right? So that what I ended up doing is, now it looks like me avoiding him for like 2 months, like going off his calls, ignoring his text messages. He emails us all kinds of like food for thought stuff. I used to reply to him, don't even reply to that, like nothing. He still reaches out no matter what. He's like, oh, you ignore me? Oh, you ignore me? Right? He continues to do that, but I still blow him off. And I tell him, oh, I've been busy, I've been traveling. And what I learned is that I've been living inside this fear of disappointing them, that I won't say anything, and in not saying anything, it turns into avoiding. But what's happening with my dad is spilling in other areas of my life, especially my business. So, with that said, it's really interesting to know that, first, the awareness of that fear is number one. I know that the awareness is where you get your power. But then it takes the courage to make the right choice based on what you want your life to look like or what you want the outcome to look like, right? And it's usually based out of love. So but it does take being bold. It does take courage. So what I did this past weekend, I don't know, for the first time probably in my life, I had a conversation with him and I said, Dad, the reason why I finally found out why I've been avoiding you, First of all, I said, I love you, and you are the reason why I am where I am. And you're awesome. But the reason why I've been avoiding you is because I've been afraid to disappoint you. And he goes, why would you think that? You made me proud my entire life. He's like, I'm your number one cheerleader. I said, I don't know. It's something, well, I do know. It's something that, from a kid, being younger, something that I created. So I told him that I'm giving that up. Like, I'm giving up avoiding, I'm giving up being afraid to disappoint him. And what I'm committed to is being in communication with him no matter what, through thick and thin, through fear, through doubt, through anything. I'm going to make sure that I'm in communication with him. And literally just like that boldness, I've been able to have awesome conversations with him this entire week without that fear coming up. And not only that, though, but I'm noticing in my life, all those people that I know I should say something, I know I should have certain conversations, I'm having them, just like that. Whereas before, I'd avoid all of them. I'd be like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to. You know what I mean? And so, but imagine that, like, if all of us really identify what our fears are and face them, right? Be bold and face them. Imagine what we could really create in our life as a result. And that's what I'm really connected to. So I'm just excited for all of us to be bold in that aspect.
Mine's with transparency.
Just being transparent no matter what.
Yeah. Because I feel like one of the things when I first met you is I found you to be non-transparent. And so it's interesting then to know maybe that stems from your father, and then how I've seen it come outside of that, because I don't know if that father.
You're also very intuitive, so you can see that more than most people. That's probably why we haven't had a subconscious block with that.
Yeah, probably.
It's crazy how that can show up with people you meet at the gym. You can see it. It's like, why? It's like, hey, I want to be your friend. I really want to be your friend. I'm actually hugging you right now, but this is what's happening as you're hugging someone. Seriously, that's what you're sending to the world. Hey, come join my business. Hey, do you want to be part of my team? And it's when you have walls up, and I'm not saying Val had these walls up, but we all have different fears. They come up in different ways, right? I have my own set of walls, right? And it's crazy that we don't see them, but people feel them, and then you wonder, hey, why am I stuck? Why are people not coming around me? I don't have a good relationship with my family. Why did that person just leave? And it's almost like these souls are just lessons for us to awaken. Okay, the same patterns happen over and over and over in your life. Are you going to look at it yet? Are you going to look at it yet? Because when you look at that pattern, you unveil it, it's like, Windex. It's like you're Windexing your eyes. Ouch. It's like, oh my God, I can see out of my right eye. And it's like, what's the back of my left eye? And then it's like this journey of blocks. And I'm telling you, if we go on this accelerated personal growth journey, so it's almost like, okay, we have our physical life, right? It's like we have our physical day-to-day, wake up, brush your teeth, make your bed, pay the bills life. We have a physical life. There's also another realm called spirituality, growth, personal growth, however you relate to the other realm, great. If you accelerate down this realm full speed, just basically by surrendering and saying, I'm open and growing every single day, I'm getting better every single day, what will happen is this path will accelerate. And that's why 1% of the world has all the money. People don't get it. They're like, why does Compton, why does this side of town have a lower vibration than Beverly Hills?
Why do different street corners vibrate on different levels? Because people have figured out this realm. People have been, first of all, people have been born into this realm, so they are blessed with a different way of thinking, right? They're, you know, when kings and queens have children, it's like they're blessed into the royal family, right? They already are in a different level of consciousness, right? But some of us weren't blessed with that, right? Great, it doesn't matter. We're all changing the generational patterns for our children, for the next generation, by accelerating this journey. And I'm telling you, financial abundance, personal abundance, health abundance, relationship abundance, all comes in relationship to this. Like, Elise is finally understanding this flow. Like, she's like, doesn't do things she doesn't want to do anymore, right? Like, saying no to one of your best friends, and was a massive breakthrough because you authentically didn't want to do it. And now the financial abundance that's come through it, you know, manifesting this Gabrielle Bernstein workshop for free, and like all of these things that are just coming in, it's like, duh, it's not that hard. Life isn't hard. That's our conversation. Life is actually easy if we be our bold best self. Life is relaxed, life is joyful, life is peaceful, life is easy as we sit on our thrones of our truth. Like, when you own your truth, life is easy. It's simple.
I think it's really important to look at, too, though, that all of our truths look different and all of our journeys look different. And one of my favorite things to say to people during the workout is, like, your fastest is going to be different than somebody else's fastest. Like, your best is going to look different than somebody else's best. But you have to know inside yourself, are you pushing yourself? And I think in the past month and a half, like, I'm really trying to find my way through. I mean, I got super excited when I came into Herbalife, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, and it was amazing. But now I feel like I'm taking a little step back and being like, I got to find my, you know, way. And like, it's not exactly, you know, if I were to walk from the lunch station and Brooke's like, you better eat lunch in the lunch station, we don't all look the same. Our journey is not the same, but if you are in your truth and you are connected to that and you know that, then you know you're not hiding, and then you can find your way. So I think
comparison will slow all of us down.
Right.
Comparison will slow everyone down. All you can look at is people that you see in their truth that activates yours.
Yes.
That's it. You don't look for, like, I want to be like that. It's more, they're in their truth. It's like a reflection. Let me activate it inside myself, which does completely. We're all from different nations, whatever. If we all had the same gifts, how boring would this be?
Right.
We wouldn't actually be able to move forward.
Right.
Because I need Val's technology gifts, or we would never have music, a TV, anything up in here, ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have a lot of the trainings we have if it weren't for me, but we wouldn't have a lot of the fitness if it weren't for a lot of you guys. Like, honestly, you gotta own your gifts and fly inside of that.
Right.
So you are like the same. Like, everybody knows how I came in. Like, I came in like 100 miles an hour. Like, I know this, da-da-da. But as soon as I opened up my mouth to talk about this great gift, it came off as like whoa, like, because I knew about something great, but I didn't Brian told me, he's like, you don't believe it, but you're part of it, and you see the vision of it, but you haven't experienced it yet, you don't believe it yet. So for like me, like, I'm doing a whole new like workout, like, I'm reordering products, like I'm reordering. I take everything, I'm reordering everything. I already have it mapped out on myherbalife.com. And I'm gonna start back from the beginning, because I feel like the more and more I talk about teams and things, people hit me up, they come out of nowhere. The more and more I talk about clients, the more and more I talk about this, it's like speaking it, you have the intention to speak it into fruition. It's kind of coming along, but I'm feeling like I now have to. Okay, basically, my life is, if I could, my life could be as easy as I am in the gym. How much I got it down in the gym, I would be amazing. But my life is not like my gym workout, but I need to make it like my gym workout. So whatever muscle it takes to do that, and whatever energy it takes to do that is what I have.
So
Every time somebody says not now, I actually feel nauseous. So you actually just make me feel nauseous. My life is not like, oh. Your life is. You just have to remember. No more saying that word. Your life is like a gym workout. That is your point of power. That's who you are. Your life is like a gym workout. Remember that. And I love that you're reordering the products, and I love that you're becoming your best self, because from this place, you're speaking from experience. Like, you're actually speaking your truth that's why I'm so passionate about, or you're doing life, or you're an actor. Like, you must be authentically thriving in your truth, in your bold truth. And if Prolessa Duo isn't your bold truth, then you're not coming from a point of power. So I'm glad you're ordering it so it can be your point of truth. And that will flood people to you. Does that make sense? So I love that your life is like a gym workout. I'm really excited to see what you create from that. Because it can be. Everything in your life can be like your gym workout. That's your point of power. Find your point of power. Find your bold truth and expand from that space. My life isn't like a gym workout, but it's like this. You know? Elise has her own version of her gym workout. Sarah has her own version of her gym workout. And that's what our life is. And everything flows from that space.
I feel like recently it just keeps coming up in my head. I feel like for a while I separated, for a while, about since January. So for several months I separated, like before and after, and like it just keeps coming up as I feel a little like I've lost why I started this, and it just keeps coming up. Sarah, you were a director and a writer and an actor. You worked with people and studied humans since you were 12 years old. And so then it's coming back that like that's my gift. It's been my gift for so long, and it's not a before or after. It's just like a different, like I feel like that's why I'm so good at what I do, connecting with people, because I spent so long reading humans and asking why do they do what they do, and then also, trying to, get them to do what the page says. But now I'm unattached to the end product, and so I'm trying to get them to do what they want to do. It's been so interesting to take that line away and like really try to connect what I was passionate about for my entire life, because it's not like that passion went away, it just changed a little bit.
This is huge. What she's saying right now is huge. This is your point of power. So your point of power, you've been put in different vehicles your whole life. Like for me, it was volleyball. It was like sports, then volleyball, then like the captain of like different teams inside of my school, and like it was more like leader captain, right? But whatever ball or microphone or vehicle I was given in that field, it didn't change my point of power in that field. My point of power was love and connection and activating greatness in the people that were around me. It was almost like not only did I love getting the kill, so I never understood this. Not only did I love getting the kill off someone's hands, right? But I would go, hey, like, I would find a way to empower the person through the net that I did. Like, seriously, like, I would come down and be like, high five under the net, then go scream with my team. It was like, that was my point of power. Empowerment was my point of power from a young age. Empowerment, leadership empowerment, right? That never changed. God just gave me a new vehicle called the Shake Canister Herbalife. Thank you, Mark Hughes, because it's epic, because it's amazing. To me, it's an awesome point of activation for people. In volleyball, I couldn't take the world with me. I feel like everyone can do this. I love this vehicle. This makes it so fun, right? That is your point of power. You are intuitive. That's why you knew that. You know people. You are intuitive. That you are a, I don't want to call it healer or whatever you are. I don't know. That's your point of power. You just have a new vehicle to play with it. It's so, like when I talk to you, I see it. I'm like, duh.
It's so funny. I went I met this guy the other night, and we went out on a date, and he just got cast in a movie too. And he's like a big movie, super stoked about it, but his energy was kind of weird about it. He was like, I'm really excited. I was like, oh my God. He's like, I'm really excited. I was like, are you nervous? And he was like, yeah, a little nervous. I said, he said, my life would change, like starting Wednesday, like it never looked the same again. And I was like, whoa, yeah, I read that. He's like, I've been wanting to talk to somebody about it, and that's all I think about. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to show up on Wednesday. And I was like, you're going to show up on Wednesday. And we started talking about it. Like, I just, like, completely, like, threw this man's energy and, like, read his whole life, like, just, like, unlocked it. And he was like, bleh! And then he started doing the film, and it's, like, all good. And I was like, yes! Just do. It was so crazy. It was so crazy. And he was like, who did I just meet? And I'm like, I don't know. I may never see him again. But
that's our job on the planet, is to remember. When you said, I don't know, it's like, you know. I don't know is a phrase to activate what we're not, to activate what we are. Who are we? Right? When we know who we are and we're clear on and bold inside of our truth, the rest is a wrap. Honestly, because I've gotten so clear inside my truth, and there's a lot of things that I've been working on to unlock it, I've contemplated going to the Olympics for volleyball. I'm not even kidding. I was like, I want to call Melly. I'm like, yo, Melly, I don't think we're done yet. I think we got another storybook to write. Like, because it doesn't matter the vehicle. Like, you can fly in all vehicles from your point of power. It's so fun. And this is my excitement to support people in remembering. Through being my best self, there's nothing I can do. Just simply be my truth. And give you a little bit of reflection so you just crush this role that you do.
I like that.
Being super strong in your intuition, too, is really, really important. That's one thing I kept thinking. I was like, I could have just really ignored my intuition and not gone there. But, like, there was something, like, I don't think that I've given my intuition enough credit. In all areas, you know, in all areas.
Now, how can you not use it, but be it with this new vehicle? Have you explored that?
No.
How fun.
Yeah.
It's rad. I want to be on that team. People like, Breakthrough Nation. Team Breakthrough Nation.
I mean, some of the clients I've had, like, some of the craziest breakthroughs, I've had some of the craziest breakthroughs, they're like different people. But it's a slow process, and it's a gentle process. That's perfect, you know. Yeah, it is. It's perfect. They're not on my timeline, and that's why it's very different than what I did in theater. Because there was a timeline, and there was an end result, and there was like, there's zero timeline, zero attachment to the end result. There's just access to change.
And then for you to speed up, want to achieve more, you just have more in the flow of a zero timeline.
Right. And speed up what I'm transferring.
So. Exactly. Right.
While you were talking, I had a question. So click.
What? Share your breakthrough.
No, it's actually all four of you guys on my head right now. It was clean though. It's nice. It's nice. Laura and Val will talk, right? When we're out at Coach's Academy, they'll talk. Laura will go through the marketing plan. Val will talk about HOM, and Elise will talk about, like she'll partner with Laura, and and then like Sarah, you started this, so you're in too. Just by you talking, and it was like, okay, I have all this stuff. I was like, all right, I'm listening down, But then when I go to talk, it's like I don't know it all, and I don't. Where did it go? Like, oh, so where did it go? Yeah, I know. And now it's just like you're still going through that process of like repeating it. You got to repeat it. You have to build that muscle. You have to do those things. And for me, it was just like, yeah, it was like the truth of it. Like, what you're about to say, do you believe it? Do you really believe it, or are you just going to regurgitate something? Like, are you going to, like, say it like Val says it? Like I woke up and you know? You know? And it's like, okay, are you going to act it? Are you going to, like, truly be, like, on one? Like, are you going to really be hyped in to do that? And I think, again, it's like you said, like, your truth. Like, I can't fake it. Everybody knows what I'm upset. Everybody knows what I'm upset. Everybody knows it. I can't hide it. And that's the truth. And you know what I mean? I've never been able to hide my emotions because I'm always just So I think the only way to confront that and to be able to do those things and talk to those people like that. That's like not in the sense of be you, but talking to them with that type of passion, that type of confidence, that type of like, look, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm doing this. If you ain't doing it, it's cool, but you're missing out. And that's what I want to be able to do. And I just like when she was talking, I was like, okay, I get what I have to do now. It's just like I just have to go through it. Like really go through the emotions, go through the entire process of doing it. And I really feel like a few months down the line or a few months down the line, however long it takes. However long it takes is going to be the exciting part. Because I think I'm really excited when I think it's going to click, and I'm just going to start saying it. I'm not even going to think about times when I wasn't able to say it. You know what I mean? So it's like, that was what
I feel like you won't even have to say it. It just will come out.
Right.
So when you get put on fire, actually doing what it makes you feel like,
right.
That you'll just take pieces from what Val's sharing, what Laura's sharing as far as the marketing plan and the product, just because you know those goals, to deliver the message, right? But the energy and the emotion is going to come from why you even come to the fit level. So it's just, Elise is amazing at this and teaching me how to find it and not just being here and then leaving and not figuring it out, but getting quiet enough to understand, like, why do I even take these products? Like, why do I take my shake? Or is it from one of the safety tabs 3 times a day is what you do? Then like getting clear why you actually do that. What does it make your body feel like? And then what do you feel like when you give someone else that? Because then the next person you're going to meet, it's like, that's where you come from. Every single time.
I feel off when I'm not on, right now. Right now. I'm not on my so I've been kind of like going through that. So, yeah, it's real. So, so when I'm excited, when I went through and I'm doing everything. I'm telling you, skin, I'm like skin, body wash, everything in my house is about to be like. So I think that's necessary for the level that I want to reach because I have to rock. Everybody knows this is my grandma. I have that rock, and I'm going to grind it out for her. But I still have to do this for me. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be a part where that's going to come through. Is I have to get clear with you. So I looked at this again, like, yeah, you want a team, but would you follow you?
Right.
Like so.
Well, and also, I think that the way your personality is set up, like you're such a jump kind of person, and I think that you've been toe in the water a little bit with our life, so it's felt inauthentic. And I think that you're gearing up to jump in, and you're excited about it because that's authentic to you. Jumping in is exciting.
Yeah.
And then that will be able to feel that.
And the cool thing is all of these whys result, aka retiring your grandma or whatever that is over here. And at the same time, if we're not consistently on a daily basis working from our point of power, our mission, and who we were born to be, aka why we put in all of these different vehicles your whole life to do the same thing. Me too. Elise too. You too. You too. If that is not, if that gets to be activated, that will feel like no work, never working, waking up, grandma's gonna be retired. It's more being inside of that than having the why be out here. Right. Because that fuels
whatever you want in your life. Like grandma being retired is a speck on the scale activated to why you put up with it. Like everyone's going to be taken care of in your life if you choose to, not just grandma. Generations upon generations will forever be taken care of if you activate your point of power. Does that make sense? And it won't feel like you're doing Herbalife. It will feel like you're living with an amazing gift of a vehicle that I truly believe in. That was an epic mindset. Yeah. Give it up for everyone. All right, so if you have any questions online, comment. That was awesome. I'm really, really grateful to be up in space today. I love the format of MindFit because what happens is like when we have a conversation, there's breakthroughs happening, and then you guys have a conversation, and I'm like, oh my gosh, awareness. And I think it's that even when there's like groups of a triad talking, I think a lot gets balanced and we can see a lot. So the more people we have in the space, the more we can learn, the more we can grow. So let's grow this. Are you guys committed to bring someone with me?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. All right, so upcoming events are tomorrow. We have to release.
Yeah.
Candlelight, 9:45 a.m. Saturday, coaches training. So if you're interested and you have the results on the products, regardless, you can come on Saturday. It's from 10 to 12:30. And Sunday we have our beach workout, which is awesome. We're going to be playing dodgeball on the sand, Will Rogers Beach, 9 a.m. Super, super, super exciting. We also have a leadership event this month. If you guys want to put this on your calendar, it's August 23rd. And that's, so it's not this Sunday, it's not this Saturday, next Saturday. It's at Long Beach, and we have one of the top trainers in all of Southern California. He's actually been with Herbalife for 32 years. His name is Dennis Dowdell. He's actually going to be the guest speaker. And if you want to talk about an enlightened individual, he's someone very, very, very special. This conversation on a whole nother level. He's been leading men's groups. He's been leading a very elevated conversation for many years inside of the company. He's awesome. So he'll be a guest speaker. So that's 23rd. So mark your calendar for that.
Could you imagine if we got him from MindFit?
Oh, we get to. For sure we get to. Yes. All right, let's give it up. Awesome.